Good evening and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bulali, and today we're going to talk about the events that have unfolded in South Africa over the last couple of weeks. I think we're all very excited, to see the Hawks finally ring or doing whatever Hawks are supposed to do. But it seems, we may just see some law enforcement taking some serious action against some big shots, so to speak. Um, I think we're all aware of all the arrests that have taken place, but I thought let me just do a little explanation of some of the intricacies that are going to become important as all these people are being arrested. The process of criminal prosecution is governed by the Criminal Procedure Act, which, as the name suggests, is the act that basically determines how criminal prosecution is supposed to be conducted. So it governs everything from bail to witnesses to subpoenas, all that kind of stuff. But what is important here is that a lot of people have been arrested, they've been brought before court, they've been charged. But what has not happened is no one has been asked to plead yet. Now, there's the best reason for that is that criminal cases often start in the magistrate's court, and if they're very serious, they get transferred to the high court, and that is only where people will be asked to plead. Now, it's very important to distinguish between when charges are brought and when someone has pleaded, for the reason that a charge can be withdrawn anytime before someone has pleaded to it. So until you plead, charges can be withdrawn. They can be withdrawn for years and they can be reinstated when there's better evidence. But once you plead to a criminal charge, it becomes a totally different story. Once you're asked to plead in court to a criminal charge, that charge has to be prosecuted to finality, or if a charge is withdrawn after you have pleaded to it, that is what they call a stopped prosecution, which is different from charges being withdrawn. When charges are withdrawn, the court just says, okay, charges withdrawn, you can go home. But when after you've pleaded, if they stop the prosecution after you have pleaded, that entitles you to a not guilty verdict, which is a totally different story. Because once you get a not guilty verdict, that triggers what they call, or you might have heard in an American movie, being called double jeopardy, meaning you cannot be criminally charged for the same offense. So you can't be criminally charged for the same corruption or whatever it was once you've been found not guilty. So prosecutors, once they ask you to plead, they need to be 100% sure that they're willing to take that case to the end. And in my opinion, that's essentially where criminal prosecution starts, at the pleading stage. So no one has been asked to plead yet. So we can be happy, but let's not be over the moon. Um, the second thing I want to talk about is a particular provision in the Criminal Procedure Act, which is Section 204 of that Act. Now, Section 204 of the Act basically says if you are charged in a case, you can turn into a Section 204 witness. This means you become a witness who agrees to give self-incriminating evidence in exchange for protection from prosecution. I think if you remember the Oscar Pistorius case, I think Kevin Lerena was a Section 204 witness. So he gave evidence. He was involved in some of Oscar's shenanigans, and he was never criminally charged for that. So when lots of people are charged, there's often a 204 witness that is extracted from that case to basically snitch on everyone else and protect themselves. Of course, that decision can be very unsatisfactory to the public. But the truth is, where many people have conspired to commit a crime, you often need that inside man who knows certain things about how this was all done to come across onto the prosecution side and get protection in terms of Section 204. So, I mean, I can almost guarantee you that as these cases start coming and these multiple accused start coming up, some of them are going to turn into Section 204 witnesses, which is basically snitching. But it's necessary, and that's just something you should keep your ear out for. So just note who gets asked to plead, note who charges are withdrawn against before the pleading stage, and keep your eye out for some Section 204 witnesses. I can almost guarantee you there will be some. So yeah, I'm also pretty well. I'm happy as a South African that we are getting somewhere with the criminal justice system. And I hope you found this video informative, and I hope to bring you more just to help you interpret all the stuff you're going to be seeing on the news as these cases are brought before the various courts. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. I promise to make more videos. Cheers.